Everyone, welcome to the Garland County Library's last virtual program of 2022. Tonight, we're going to have a little retrospective on what the past year has been like and look ahead to next year. But before we begin, since this is a library program, just want to say finding news stories from 2022 in particular to give our commentary on was actually really challenging because if you look at the top 10 or 20 news stories from the year, pretty much every single one of them is political or just really contentious in some way. So even though I'm sure as private citizens, we all have opinions on those topics, we're wearing our library hats right now, so it isn't really appropriate. So we're going to try and avoid those altogether if possible. But any opinions you do hear tonight about the things we discuss are our own. So I'll just put that disclaimer out there. But since it's hard to talk about most of the news, we're really going to focus on two main things that have very little in common. That's famous people that died this year and what the year has been like for us in the library. So hopefully there's no connections in there, but 6 degrees of separation, I'm sure we'll find one. But if anyone watching wants to throw in your 2 cents on anything, please do. But first we'll do some quick introductions. I'm Paul Kagabine. I'm the Adult Programs Coordinator here at the library. Karen, who are you?
I'm Karen Covey, and I'm Public Services Coordinator here at the library. Front desk circulation area.
My name is Greg Wallace. I'm the Adult Services Librarian.
I'm Brent, or DB Cooper, and I'm the Technical Services Librarian.
And if you like Brent tonight, you can check him out on a different format. You want to tell him about that?
Yeah, on KUHS or KUHSradio.org or 102.5 if you're in the Springs every Thursday morning from 8 to 9. Me and Aaron Baber will talk about library-related things and what's happening in the news every week.
Yeah, and don't send me emails if they tell you to.
If you have any complaints, PKAGEBEIN at GClibrary.com.
You take some all.
All right, so where do we want to begin? I know we all have lists. Karen and Greg have this calendar that they fill out every year, and almost every day of the year there's some kind of famous person, celebrity, from the most famous person in the world to D tier. She'll throw them on there.
And you know what?
We are somewhat selective. I'm sorry.
Oh, a little shout out. Karen and Greg basically ran the whole true crime festival that we did at the library. So this is going to be kind of neat to hear their top deaths. That's not murder related, hopefully.
Well, some of them maybe.
We had some help with the True Crime Fest, but
we do love true crime.
Thank you. We love true crime, and we love it when celebrities die, especially if they've had
put it on our calendar.
A long, fulfilling life. We are not making light of death by any means, but that's what celebrities are there for, to give us a little something extra to think about. And, thank you, celebrities.
Yeah, thanks, celebrities.
Thank you, celebrities. Where do we want to start with? The dead or the top stories? Or can we start with surprises?
Yeah, let's start with the dead so we can end on a more positive note.
Okay, well, let's start with the surprise death of the year. To me, Leslie Jordan.
Yes.
I just, oh my
God.
Pretty much we count them as a surprise if they're under 80.
Yes, because the older you get, 80 doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
But Leslie Jordan, he got us through the pandemic pretty much.
He blew up, not because of, but during the pandemic, he was kind of the voice of keeping a sane head or, keeping high spirits, I guess.
Yes. Well, how's my fellow hunker downers, I loved it.
Yeah, my wife showed me his TikToks, and they were just so entertaining.
He was, and it was just like he had Sunday morning singing that Sunday, and then what was it, that Monday or Tuesday he passed away. That was my big surprise. I just love Leslie Jordan. I should have worn my Leslie Jordan T-shirt that somebody got me.
He died in a car accident, but didn't they say that he had actually suffered some sort of
medical disorder, heart attack maybe,
and that caused him to crash the car?
Yeah, that's so sad.
Well, our other big car crash of the year was Anne Heche.
Yep, she was a big surprise.
A little more dramatic.
I had forgot she died this year. That was just crazy because she was young and just kind of not
crazy.
She was crazy, yeah, but kind of out of the spotlight, and then
Under radar.
yeah, like whenever it happened, I just kind of had to double check, like, oh, okay,
Did she have a medical situation that I never know? I don't know what caused the car crash.
I don't think so. Well, I think she had been ill, and if anyone has better information on this, please supply it. They did a toxicology report, and it came back positive for, I think, cocaine and fentanyl.
Sorry, I
but
brought that up.
the amounts of it in her bloodstream did not indicate that she was on those medications or drugs at the time of the accident. So they are not necessarily responsible for it. But she like crashed into some woman's house.
Yeah.
And it all just blew up. So the woman has sued her estate for millions of dollars because it destroyed her house. So I don't blame her. If somebody drove into my house, I would be kind of
Hesh. I mean, yeah, if it's a celebrity running into my house, I think I'm gonna try to get that money.
Wow.
He's not on the surprises, but for me, Bob Saget was a big surprise. I think he was like 60. Yeah, he was 62 or. And the way that he died is just terrifying. Like, bump your head, say you're okay, tell everyone you're fine, and then go to bed and just not wake up. That was.
Is that what happened? Did they really think that he just bumped his head and?
Yeah, he hit his head on like a counter earlier that afternoon, and didn't think a big deal about it like you would, and then died in his sleep later on that night, and. Yeah, so, and he was like, for me, it was like How I Met Your Mother, America's Funniest Home Videos, Full House, Bob Saget was there, like.
And he was, how old was 60?
I want to say he was 62 or 65.
Young.
He was young. Let's see. 65.
Young.
Yeah,
that's a surprise. Well, didn't that happen to Liam Neeson's wife? She hit her head and then died. She was okay or did something, and
yeah, she was in a skiing accident and then hit her head, and the same thing where like she told everyone she was fine, and then later on she actually had like a full headache or something and went to the hospital and died hours later.
Oh, was that the one? She was one of the Redgraves?
Yeah, Richardson.
Somebody.
Oh yeah. I just watched Love Actually, so I looked it up the other day.
Another surprise to me was Mike Leach.
Yeah, Boomer Sooner.
Oh my gosh, that was if you follow college football, it was a big surprise.
Well, and he had like a was it like a stroke, heart attack, and
something about they didn't get to him quick enough or something. He wasn't found quick enough or something. I don't know. You just,
That was a bad one. That was a bad one for college football.
Yeah. A fun guy. I love to see him interviewed in between, the quarters and stuff. He's a fun coach.
Irene Cara showed up on our surprises. She was pretty young too. I think in her 60s.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'd heard much from her since, the early 80s, but I definitely remember Fame. I thought was a great movie when I was a kid, and that Flashdance theme song plays in my head often.
What a feeling!
Yeah, what a feeling. So we have to say goodbye to Irene Cara. I'm not sure what took her, but
I don't know.
Coolio was a big surprise.
Coolio threw off a lot of people. Coolio was that was a
popular back in the day, very popular.
Yeah,
I just picture him just being young, like just super young.
Yeah, most people know him from Gangsta's Paradise or Weird Al's parody of Gangsta's Paradise, Amish Paradise. But I think my first introduction to him was him doing the theme song for Kenan and Kel.
Yeah. Well, and he had a I thought it was pretty neat because Weird came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so Coolio was kind of a part of that, and maybe for the younger Gen Z or the Zoomers out there, it was pretty neat to kind of like an homage to Coolio.
There was Taylor Hawkins, the drummer for Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's not so surprising when you find out what he was doing. That makes it a little less surprising.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
we're
some
not
of these
here to
surprises
judge.
are like, he only took a little bit of fentanyl, or
Yeah.
That stuff's bad.
Yeah, it is.
I never watched the Ellen show because I don't watch talk TV or anything like that. But was it the band leader
He was a DJ.
DJ
Yeah.
that
I never watched it either.
unfortunately
It's kind of like Ellen's show ended this year after 19 years, the Ellen show, and then months later, Stephen Twitch Boss committed suicide.
that's awful.
Yeah.
Well, and she's one that for years came across as like super nice and everything, and then within the last couple of years, there's been this backlash against her that she's secretly evil. So
yeah,
good for her.
yeah.
Secretly evil.
There's a couple of evil, like it was her and the Brit who is he was in Cats.
The carpool karaoke guy.
Yeah, James Gordon. Gordon. So him and Ellen both this year kind of came out that they're terrible people but great hosts.
Yeah, like us right now.
Yeah.
Or great people but terrible hosts.
Oh, and it's somber, but if you're having trouble with suicide, it's 988 is the national hotline for suicide or crisis lifeline.
Thank you, Brett. Should we go on to our actors and actresses? Because that's
a list.
Quite a list. For years, we had Olivia de Havilland on our list because she lived to be 106 or something like that.
70 or something.
Yeah, and we finally marked her off our calendar. What, last year or the year before?
Recently, in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So there are some in their 90s that we're on the lookout for, but I don't think there are any, except for Norman Lear. I don't think there are any 100-year-olds.
Yeah, some they're older, and we gonna do not a death pool, but like who we're looking for 2023.
Be on the lookout.
Yeah, Bolos.
Yeah, maybe we should wrap up with that after we've gone through.
Okay.
The ones who've actually already accomplished it.
Yeah, they get first choice.
Recently, Kirstie Alley was a surprise.
But before we hit the list, I can't remember last year. Brent and I did this with Angel, and I don't know if she made the list or not. But we'll just give a mention to Betty White because that was somewhere in the last few days.
Yeah,
but that was last year, so we won't talk too much. But rest in peace, Betty White.
Yes, that was like the last week or so of.
Yeah. It might have been the day of our podcast last year.
Oh.
And it's so it's the 27th now, but like there's 4 days, three-ish days of like. Someone's going to hit this list for...
you're going to make the calendar.
Yeah, next year's end-of-year review, you're going to get an honorable mention.
All right, who were you saying, Greg?
Oh, I was just looking at our list that Karen was nice enough to make. The first one on it was a little bit of a surprise. Kirstie Alley.
Yeah.
I think she had cancer, so it might not have been too much of a surprise to people who knew that, but it came as a surprise to me for sure.
Yeah, because again, another one under the radar. That you always, been out of the spotlight, I guess, for a few years. Or I haven't seen her. I haven't.
Yeah, I don't know what she was doing. I know she was tweeting, but that was a surprise.
I think she had a couple of shows after Cheers, but none of them really took off or were.
Yeah, that Veronica.
Oh, Veronica. Yeah.
Something like that sitcom.
Yeah.
Let's see. Big one, Ray Liotta. I mean, this kind of ties in with our next name that we're going to do, but I mean, Ray Liotta has been working nonstop for years, decades. And he just always looked like he never aged to me, like he was just always Ray Liotta.
Yep.
He was one again. I hadn't seen him recently in things again. I don't watch a lot of new movies, but Goodfellas. One of my faves.
Yeah.
Which ties
Me
us
too.
into.
Paul Sorvino.
Oh, we could do a Goodfellas roundup at some point and see who's alive and who's dead. That would be kind of
That would
fun.
be awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, like, speaking of just mafia adjacent, I mean, like, all of the Sopranos are basically dead now. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
but
not,
yeah, Paul
not
Sorvino was a big one.
Falco or Michael Imperial, that
Not
guy.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Paul
Um,
Sorvino is Mia Sorvino's father.
but
right?
Big Paulie. And
Yeah,
just
Big Paulie. He's always like the Don.
big and quiet. And he was on Law and Order, what, the first season? Second season?
Oh yeah,
Wasn't he on Law and Order?
I don't know.
Yes, I think so.
I think so as
Let me check
well.
that.
Yeah,
I think so.
he played Sergeant Phil Coretta.
All right. Look at you go.
I'm just looking it up.
James Caan, who was also in some gangster movies, so we've got kind of a theme going on here. He was in the Godfather, wasn't he?
Oh
Sonny-
yeah,
Sonny Corleone.
Sonny
Yeah.
Corleone.
He was
And
in the
his
first.
like Paul's daughter, James's son, is still acting out there.
Yep. He was in Elf. We just saw him in Elf.
Yep.
And since we're on gangsters, we can skip down to Paulie Walnuts. I love Paulie Walnuts so much.
I love his hair.
Yes, it's so perfect. And I read something about him. I rewatched The Sopranos within the last couple of years, and I read up a little bit on some of them. And he really was kind of a mob character. You know,
Like in real life.
Yes.
Yeah, he started acting. I think he was in some Scorsese movies too, but they kind of pulled him off the street, you know, and he was just kind of a low-level mob guy. So he definitely brought some authenticity to that part for sure.
Yes.
Imagine being typecast and you're like, no, you got it right.
Yeah.
I'm off you. You got it.
You got it.
Alan in the comments mentioned someone who, of course, we were going to bring up, but it's a good segue from actors into other musicians, and that's Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. OJ.
On the left, not the right.
Oh, and J.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. Grease was the word.
She was not in a mafia movie. You're right. She would have killed it, though. Yeah, Olivia Newton-John. That was
an argument for Grease.
Yeah, that was kind of a surprise too, because I just always picture some of these people as just young, just forever young, and
Well,
so when it like
she had been battling cancer on and off for years, like maybe from as early as the 80s or 90s. I kept hearing stories about how she was surviving cancer. So,
oh yeah, the big C.
Sorry, ONJ.
Yeah.
So I have a question about that. Since I wasn't around at the debut of Grease, did people think Olivia was faking an Australian accent, or did they know she was legit?
Well, she'd been a singer before that.
I heard it, and then I realized she was really Australian.
You know, she was a singer before that and had won some awards before that in the early 70s.
She was pretty well known.
Yeah, she was. When that came out, she was well known. I don't know if she'd been acting in anything, maybe a Love Boat or something. But when Grease came out, I think everybody kind of knew who she was, knew she was Australian, because she'd had, what, 2 or 3, or probably more popular hit songs.
She started off I think she started off overseas, but her first American hits were pretty kind of country, and she caused a big uproar at the Country Music Association awards. A bunch of people got up in arms that they were giving these awards to her when she wasn't even American, and she wasn't super country. So some of them split off and made their own award show. What was it like? They made the American Country Music Awards.
Country Music Awards. Yeah, she had Honestly Love You, Let Me Be There. Please, Mister, please. I don't know if that was her or not, but I remember that song.
It was. And then she went more sort of adult contemporary pop, and then Grease hit big.
Xanadu.
Yeah, then she greased in Xanadu. So she was in one of the most successful movie musicals ever, and then one of
The biggest flops.
the biggest flops. So you win some, you lose some.
Well, it was a big year for women in country deaths because there was also Naomi Judd.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I mean, are we getting to the one of the big ones there?
Oh, I don't know. Are we doing the big one?
Oh,
Already.
No, Loretta Lynn. Karen? Oh, no, she has to take a minute, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, Loretta Lynn, queen of country music, right? Like,
yeah, she was one of the all-time greats for sure. If any of y'all have never seen Coal Miner's Daughter,
no,
it's an excellent movie. It's the musical biopic bar that no one can really meet or pass that I've seen anyway, because it's just very warm and human and entertaining, and it's a great movie.
yeah, I think it's almost like required viewing south of Mason-Dixon. Like, you got to watch.
Sorry, that got to me.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Karen.
Loretta. Oh, my
Well,
God.
and then as recently as, I don't know, I lose track of time, but within the last 10 years, she did that album with Jack White that kind of surprised everyone.
Yes.
It was really good, too. I listened to a lot of it. Apparently, she had stockpiled a ton of songs because she was a little bit unusual in that she wrote a lot of her own material before a lot of other people did. And I think she had some sort of like publishing dispute at some point where someone else like owned the rights to her music or whatever. So she stopped releasing her own songs for a long time. And so she had this trunk or something full of songs, and Jack White came in and helped her arrange them and put them out. That was a really, really good album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, check out Portland, Oregon. That's a song on that album.
That was the song I was thinking.
Yeah. But what's everyone's favorite Loretta song?
Oh, gosh. There's so many.
Fifth City.
Fifth City is a great one. I don't know. I like Turn Conway together.
Oh, gosh. Sparks Blue. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Don't come home and drinking. That's going to lay me down.
Of course. The Pill.
The Pill was very controversial when it came out. Extremely controversial.
You know, that's one I think I read that they held on to that one for several years before they released it. She had recorded it, and they thought it was just too hot to handle.
Yeah.
They stuck it away, and I guess finally decided the time was right, and then it was a big country hit.
I think Coal Miner's Daughter would have to be my favorite because it tells her story in such a way. I do like that song.
We also have another big name in music, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee.
Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
One of the originals.
Yeah.
He was the last surviving member of the original Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction class.
Really?
Yep.
I know he's controversial, but it's almost, if it's not every day, it's like every other day. I wake up singing Lewis Boogie, but put my name on it. I love Jerry Lee Lewis. I love his music.
He was a character.
Good movies too, based on him. I mean, really, really great movies. So Jerry
He
Lee
could play
Lewis.
the piano.
Yeah, he did.
Well, you say movies. I know the one with Dennis Quaid. Is there another one?
I think there was a one like recently. That's why that's the one that I was thinking of off the top of my head. But I want to say that there was another recent, but I don't know. Yeah, Be My Guest, Great Balls of Fire, but
Who were his cousins that are famous too? Probably more famous here in the South.
You mean the one
his
he
wife.
the one he married? Yeah.
But not the one he married. Boy cousins. One could have married those. But they're also piano players. Well, they both, I guess all of them played the piano. You know, Mickey Gilley was his cousin.
Oh.
And then Jimmy Swaggart was his cousin.
Hey.
Or is his, I don't know if Jimmy Swaggart's alive, but it was his cousin. from Faraday, Louisiana.
I like Jerry Lee Lewis music. I really
Yes. Yes.
A couple other actors we missed before we move on to the big death.
No,
Sidney Poitier.
Sidney
Yes.
Poitier.
He was in one of my big ones. Yeah, the big ones up here.
Yeah, that's a major death. I mean, he was in. You can't throw a dart at the movies in the '60s without hitting something that
Yeah.
he was like involved in.
And he was the first.
He just really had that kind of extra something. You know, you can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but if you see him on screen, you can't not look at him, and he just comes across as like, you know, you see some people in movies and they don't really seem like real people, but every time I've seen him, he just seems so real.
Well, speaking of someone who didn't seem like a real person at all,
Oh yeah,
the voice of Iago from Aladdin and so many other things. Stand-up comedian. Can anybody imitate his voice? I'm not even going to try.
no.
Nope.
You gotta squint your eyes if you do it. That's all I know is that you gotta like. He was huge. I think he got railroaded by Affleck. I'm just gonna go out and say it. I like Gilbert Gottfried. It's weird if you haven't, viewers out there, if you haven't seen it, he has a couple of voicemails with his regular voice, and it is so odd to hear Gilbert not speak like Gilbert. It's really something. It's fun.
Was he a real smooth talker?
No, he just didn't have that like Gilbert thing. It was just like a. Like I replayed it like 3 times the first time I ever heard it because it just wasn't Gottfried. It was just like a regular dude.
All right. Anybody else we want to give a shout out to before we move on to the big one?
What did we get? Meatloaf? Or was he the big one?
No, wait. The man or the food?
Well, if we're not gonna like some of the just let's see. I know Franco Harris this last week.
Yes.
Deal.
Surprise on that too.
Yeah, they just retired his jersey. It was the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. He started the Steelers dynasty. I mean, if you talk to any of that team, he was the linchpin in the Steelers dynasty in the 70s. And Franco Harris was crazy. That was weird to hear.
Yeah, he was when I did this, I think he just died the day I was doing this. Yes.
Yeah. He died 2 days before they retired his number.
Yeah.
And and had a documentary about him. So that's heartbreaking.
Since we are library people, we could just briefly mention some of the authors that died this year. Hilary Mantel, who wrote the Wolf Hall trilogy, which I've tried to read about 100 times. I never could get into it, but people tell me it's great. David McCullough, who wrote a lot of the great biographies. I know my Aunt Mita's hardly ever read a book, but she wanted that Truman book for Christmas, and she got it. And PJ O'Rourke, who was pretty funny.
McCullough was huge. I mean, I remember being a history student and like they would just say buy his books as textbooks, like just buy them. And so McCullough was big.
I've read a few. He wrote one about the building of the Brooklyn Bridge that was very, very interesting. He had a real talent for finding the interesting anecdotes about strange things.
And then real quick, sorry. Let's see. William Hurt, the actor. If you're a Marvel fan, he was in the Iron Mans and he's done tons of other stuff, but huge.
Yep. So that leaves us with, of course, the most famous world leader on Earth. And I'm talking about, of course, Mikhail Gorbachev. No.
Gorbachev did die, though, didn't he? Was he
did. Yep.
Yeah, Gorbachev did.
He did.
Yeah.
But the Queen out there. The Queen was the big surprise.
The Queen was so big. I remember being in Norman, and she had visited Oklahoma in the 50s, and she used the chair whenever she visited OU. And ever since, you couldn't sit on the chair. Like, it was partitioned off in their like museum almost.
You people from Oklahoma,
We don't have much.
but you have the queen.
We had the queen sit in a chair.
I mean, she took over when she was in her 20s, maybe
She was
early 30s,
25 or 26, something like that.
and that was in 53. So 70 years ago. So you don't see those deaths like that. That pageantry,
Yeah,
that was awesome. Not going to talk about the family and their little family feud, but just the pageantry and everything they had to go through and do, and the grandkids had to stand around the coffin or whatever they call it, around the casket. But
I mean, she was up there as like one of the longest reigning monarchs. Like,
well, yeah, she's
like top.
Yeah.
I think she's second. I think like something like
Well,
that.
she beat Queen Victoria a few years ago. Like
Yeah.
they had been neck and neck, and Elizabeth pulled past her.
oh yes, and I think she's the winner forever. Because Chuck ain't going to be. I mean, his parents did live to their late 90s.
She has the second longest known reign in history after Louis XIV.
Oh,
Wow. I didn't know this. I just found this out today. Do you guys know like the breaking of the wand ceremony?
yeah, because King Charles did that.
I had no idea. So like you get a wand whenever you become monarch, and then at the end, like someone will break it, and then that's what you're buried with. Like it's
Yeah.
like I thought that was pretty neat.
Well, we'll get you a wand.
Yeah, I know. That's what I want now. Like, yeah, Queen was a big one. I mean, I haven't seen, like, I guess the closest I've seen in American history would be like a JFK. JFK procession was close to it. But other than that, I mean, have you seen the line to the Queen's funeral or like the wake or whatever? Like, it was just backed up like a mile.
Yeah, somebody be like, I don't know if I can do that, But
27 hours line to wait to go see the Queen in state or whatever.
Yeah. So that's a big one. That's going to be a big one for a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah, I doubt the new king gets much of a send off.
No.
As Elizabeth.
Oh no, because Elizabeth was loved. I mean, she had pros and cons about her, but she was well loved, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, and
she
she
had
was
those
kind of
purses.
no nonsense, and that sense of duty
Yes.
seems to come from a bygone era.
Yes, she had a sense of duty that she was going to carry out to her dying day, and she did.
Yeah, and you get to reign so long that like you see like World War, like Vietnam, Brexit. Like after a while, it's like, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah,
she's good.
So we talked about Death List.
Mm-hmm.
But there's actually a very morbid site that keeps track of this and has predictions. Who do you think number one on the list that didn't pass
Jimmy
this
Carter.
year? Nope.
Carter.
Who's up
Dick
there?
Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke. Yep. 97.
Well, how old is Jimmy Carter?
98.
And I'd say William Shatner probably is really high up there just for, or is Regis still alive?
No, he died.
Okay.
He was on this show 2 years ago.
Okay, that's right.
Let's see, they're the top ones on there that didn't pass this year: Dick Van Dyke, Henry Kissinger, Bob Barker, Alan Greenspan, Jimmy Carter, Tony Bennett, Dick Cheney.
Wow.
Harry
Bob
Belafonte.
Barker would be a big one.
I'm surprised they don't have Norman Lear on their list because he's over 100.
Oh yeah. He's just gonna live forever.
Yeah.
Is Mel Brooks on there? Because he's got to be up close to 100.
Maybe we need our own website.
Yeah. Let's see.
I think someone left their phone here because there's something keeps
I
jingling.
thought it was his Ring camera or something.
So
yeah, Mel Brooks is 96, so he would.
Okay.
Yeah, Mel Brooks or Dick Van Dyke would probably be like the two big ones, and Jimmy Carter's just he's there.
And I hate to say it, but my Bob Newhart is on there, and I love Bob Newhart with all my heart. And I'm taking off that day
With all your new heart.
with all my Newhart.
Oh,
Alan says Keith Richards will outlive us all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Keith Richards is never on a bolo for this.
No.
I had a teacher, high school, said I looked like Keith Richards. I had a slightly longer hair then, but I've never seen it.
I don't see it. No.
I tell you, Karen, my call in from work is Steve Martin. If he ever,
Oh yeah, that's going to be a biggie.
that'll be a bad one for me.
Steve Martin. Yeah, he's going to be 60s, 70s.
He's 77.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was watching Saturday Night Live when he did King Tut. And I have that 45. I'm that old. I have that 45.
Like 3 years ago, I got to go up on stage with him and Martin Short to do the song with him. I forgot. Yeah, but it was awesome. They visited Little Rock. It was cool.
Oh my gosh.
So now for some conversation whiplash, we'll move on to how the year has been for the library.
Been a good year.
Big
Great
year.
year.
Yeah. We
This phone that's hanging out here.
we got our remote lockers installed this year, so that's been very exciting.
And work with us people too. We're learning the system as well, like with you. So if there's some tweaks or something that you don't like, just please let us know in a nice, kind way. And we'll try to work with you to make it better.
Yes. Deliveries are going good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made a lot of progress on the garden. It's we're making they're digging something out there.
They're digging some dirt up there.
You can see the drone shots on YouTube too, like videos as it's going along and progressing.
Yeah.
You can follow along.
You can buy a brick with, somebody's name if you wish.
$30 at cost.
$30. That's all.
Yep.
Two for
It's memorialized with as many words as you can fit in 30 characters
Yes.
for $30.
It seems like years ago now, but we had our big book festival back in April.
Yes, one of my favorite programs we've hosted for sure.
Yeah.
We had a couple great guests. David Hill, who wrote The Vapors. He gave a
At
talk
the
about
Vapors.
which is really excellent. And then Elizabeth Eckford, who was on Little Rock 9. And
that was a very special program. I'm glad that I went to that. And Biddy Martin, who had a big success with her book, Murder in a what's it called?
Murder in Southern Town.
Snake Eyes.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And then we kind of built off of that type of book in the fall. We had our True Crime Fest, which was
Catherine Townsend.
very exciting.
Catherine Townsend, podcaster of Helen Gone and a couple other series. She gave a great talk. And let's see, who else? We have Mara Leverett, talked about West Memphis 3, Boys on the Tracks.
James Presley, who wrote about the Texarkana Moonlight Murders.
Down the dreaded sundown.
Yeah.
This was the first year in a couple that we could have summer reading program, like in person. That was
busy. Yes.
That was busy. That was neat.
Yeah, they had tried to do a drive-through version, just not the same. But things were booming this year. I mean, we had a lot of foot traffic for
Fishaween, our second annual Fishaween.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been busy. We got some lawn games. We got some kits.
Oh yeah.
Upper game on some of those things.
Board games, puzzles, fishing poles, cake pans,
ice cream maker, wood burning kit.
And next year we get a mobile vehicle. The park's done.
The bookmobile.
Yeah.
So we've got lots to look forward to. Not just people dying. We have other things to look forward to.
We get excited about other things.
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah.
A remodel starts sometime maybe next year. Like that's huge.
Yes.
Yeah. Starting outside with the garden, working our way in. Have a new roof coming soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely check out those drum shot videos on YouTube. Butch gets a little clip every day he can, sends the drone out. It's really high quality, and just seeing the progress over the next few months is going to be pretty stellar. I think the tentative date is spring.
Maybe.
Maybe you know how construction goes. So
It's going a lot faster than I pictured it, though. It's
yeah,
nice.
especially with how the weather's been.
Yeah.
Yeah. We already talked about lock. There's just so many things. It's hard to keep up with everything. We're definitely forgetting something. Lucky day items.
Lucky day items.
We have a new Lucky Day collection. So it's your lucky day if you come into the library and you find one on the shelf, because people cannot place them on hold. But most of the super popular items, your Colleen Hoovers, your John Grisham's, we have an extra copy that we call Lucky Day.
They have a gold sticker, and if you find it, it is your lucky day. It is your copy of a book that people are waiting on hold for. So,
and our book clubs are coming back. The Have Book Will Travel is coming back, and we've got a new book club.
A new true crime book club. We're using the same name as our True Crime Fest, Hot Springs Cold Blood. It's going to meet every other month, starting the first Saturday in February. And we're kicking it off with In Cold Blood by Truman Capote, because it's a classic and you can never get too much of it. But we're going to have a book each time to discuss, a true crime book, but we're also welcoming people to go off topic and talk about their favorite podcasts, or if they saw a true crime story in the news. Karen and I have been fascinated by the Idaho student murders that they won't tell us anything about. No. So maybe someone will come to our book club who has a cousin who is on the Idaho State Police, and they can tell us.
Give us some inside info.
Yeah.
And for all these book clubs, we do have a limited number of free copies available for the first people to sign up. So come and grab those while supplies last. Be one of the first dozen-ish to sign up, and you can get a copy that's yours to keep. But there's also some extra seats if you find another way to check out the book, check it out from the library, or you have your own copy. You can still come and join.
Yeah.
So, anything else happen in you guys' personal lives that you'd like to share?
No.
I had some great naps.
I got engaged this year. That's pretty neat.
Hey, congratulations, man.
I'm doing it. And my cat turned 23.
Yay!
That's like what, 100 and
yeah, he's just on borrowed time, and I'm just enjoying it while I got him.
Right next to you, isn't he?
He was. I don't know where he went now, so he can still move. So he's just old.
Yeah.
What about you, Paul? Anything fun?
Yeah, we took a fun trip to Vegas.
Nice.
One of the best vacations I've ever been on. Went on a tour in the desert, saw My Chemical Romance, and came back and finally got COVID after 2.5 years of avoiding.
Hey, yeah.
That part wasn't fun.
COVID's still around, just be careful, everybody.
Yeah. Get your shot, get your flu shot too.
Yeah, get your booster. I'm a Novid so far, knock on wood. So
the famous last words.
Yep. Let me see. 23.
Doesn't look a day over 10.
Yeah, it's Dunbar. That's my baby.
All right, you guys ready for trivia?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let me get it ready. Okay. Let's.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh gosh.
All right. We're gonna start. Karen, you're gonna get the first question because you're first on my screen.
Okay.
I'm starting with the biggest softball I can. If you get it wrong, then I'm gonna move on to the next person.
Oh, come on, no pressure.
Feel it. Okay. Who bought Twitter this year?
Elon Musk's.
You got it. All right, Brent. What company purchased the viral web game Wordle back in January?
Oh, is that the New York Times?
That's right. And Greg and Karen, you still play Wordle every day, is that right?
Yes, we Wordle daily.
First thing in the morning.
Me and Greg Wordle.
If you guys haven't tried it, Duo Try Gordle.
Oh, that sounds so hard.
It is 32 of them.
Oh no.
We were on a redactyl kick up here at the library for a while.
Yeah.
Redactyl is a Wikipedia article, but pretty much the entire article is redacted, censored out, and you use context clues to guess what the article name is. So that one's pretty fun too.
Oh yeah.
All right, Greg,
Okay.
what was Merriam-Webster's word of the year?
Oh, didn't we just
Nope, that was Oxford. Oxford's was goblin mode.
Merriam-Webster's word of the year? I have no idea.
Theirs was a little. I'll give you a hint. The definition was psychological manipulation of a person, usually over an extended period of time.
Gaslighting.
Gaslighting. You got it.
Ingrid Bergmaning.
Yeah.
Runner-ups for their word of the year included oligarch, Omicron, and codify.
Codify. I don't know what
Good.
that means.
Good words.
All right, Karen, back to you.
Oh.
What vegetable caused a kid on TikTok to go viral because of his love for it?
Corn.
It's count.
Got it.
Corn. I'm with that kid. I love me some corn.
I do too.
I know my corn.
All right, Brent, what celebrity went viral for her worm costume?
Oh, that was Heidi Klum.
You got it. Look at this monstrosity.
What the world?
She always goes out for Halloween. Like she goes all out. And then this year was just
Here's a really tough one. If you don't get it, it might be a slap in the face. Who hosted the Oscars this year, Greg?
Chris Rock.
Yeah, we won't go into that one, but we all know what happened.
If you hadn't said it was a slap in the face, I wouldn't have got it because I can't keep track of the Oscars, and that actually seems like it happened five years ago.
it feels so long ago that the Chris Rock slap happened. Like
It does. It was very early in the year. I guess that was March.
don't
Which
mess with
feels
Will
like
Smith's
several
wife.
years ago.
Don't do it.
All right, Karen. Speaking of that Oscars, waiting for Karen. Uh-oh.
Oh no. It's Loretta Lynn all over again. Will Smith slap just
All right, Brent, we're moving back to you.
all right, what you got?
All right. Speaking of that Oscars, what film from last year won Best Picture?
Oh gosh. I'm a movie guy and I actually don't know this one. I don't know.
Starts with a C.
I'm totally blanking.
All right, I'm gonna try Karen. Karen, the question was, what film from last year won Best Picture at the Oscars this year?
Chris Rock. I have no idea.
Greg, you have an answer?
It starts with a C.
Starts with a C.
Do you
Cocoon.
have any more hints?
It's 4 letters.
Coco.
Coco.
No, that was several years ago. It's Coda.
Coda.
Oh, Coda.
Coda one?
Coda won.
Wow.
Has anyone ever actually seen that movie?
Honestly, I didn't even know it was a
People
thing until right now.
So, can we agree that the Oscars are pretty immaterial to everything in real life?
Yeah.
So, this is a Karen question. As of this broadcast, what was the highest grossing film of 2022? It's sitting at $1.5 billion. And it's probable that by the time all is said and done, the answer will change to Avatar: The Way of Water, which is in theaters right now. But as of now, it's still a different movie.
I think I think I know this one.
Karen?
I have no clue. Absolutely no clue.
Okay, it's a sequel.
A sequel to.
Well, that
I
was,
can't think of any movies that came out this year. I just don't watch movies. I don't go to. Who's in it?
That's too easy.
I wouldn't know. Oh, okay. It's a sequel.
Highest grossing movie this year or
Yeah.
ever?
Was it a superhero movie?
Of this year. It was not a superhero movie.
Is it Jurassic World?
Nope. Greg, you got it?
Top Gun Maverick.
You got it.
Oh, Tom Cruise. Boo. Not a fan.
And if you haven't seen it, Top Gun Maverick is just Top Gun, like filmed 40 years later. It's the same plot. They even do like a beach scene with a sport instead of volleyball. It's football. Like it's the same movie.
Does he have the same hair?
Does it still have the Kenny Loggins song?
Yeah.
Is
I would
it
have never thought
with
that.
DJ Khaled? Okay. Brent, how many children did the celebrity Nick Cannon have this year?
Oh God. Okay, so he has 11.
Oh my gosh.
Did he have 2 this year?
Nope. Greg?
3.
Nope. Karen?
How he leave? 5.
Irish.
No, it was 4.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg, what music artist recently went up against Ticketmaster this year who was scalping and inflating prices?
Oh, I try not to say her name out loud, but is it?
I know.
Is it Taylor Swift?
It's
Oh, yeah,
Tay-Tay.
Taylor Swift. Yes.
If you say it 2 more times, she shows up in your bathroom at night, I think.
Tay-Tay. My daughter is a big fan.
All right, Karen, what was the biggest new song to release this year? It was not a Taylor Swift song.
Like, what kind of song was it?
Pop song.
Was it what?
It was a pop song. Male
Unless it was
artist.
by Bay City Rollers, I have no idea. I wouldn't have a clue.
Brent.
Yeah, if it's new, if it's past 80, I don't know it.
Greg might know this.
I don't think I do. No.
Male
It's-
artist.
The the blog we've been following hasn't gotten that far yet. So
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to Stereo Gum article or blog, ongoing blog, the number ones, tackling every Billboard number 1 in history. Greg and I have both been reading that on and off, and yeah, I really enjoy it. Okay, male artist. He went solo. He was in a popular pop band.
Was it Harry Styles?
It was Harry Styles.
Oh, you got it.
Some Harry Styles
Oh,
song.
is it that one about the watermelon sugar?
That's a couple years ago, but
Oh, okay.
that was also number 1. Okay,
Oh,
it's
Greg, you
as it
embarrassed
was.
me. Being that late on that Harry Styles song, I don't know. I have no idea.
The answer was as it was. Okay, well here's one for you. Whose turn is it? Who started that round? It was Karen. Okay, Brent, you did. Okay, so this is a Greg question. All right, what 1985 song saw a resurgence this year, spending several months on the charts?
Running up that hill.
That's right. And Karen, what Netflix show led to Running Up That Hill's resurgence?
That's Stranger Things.
That's right, season
Nice.
4. All right, Brent, here's a Stranger Things question. What is the name of the extremely popular new character and leader of the show's Hellfire Club?
Is it Eddie?
Eddie, you got it. Eddie Munson. All right, Greg, what cable TV show hit the highest viewership numbers cable has seen since The Walking Dead? Keyword cable.
Succession.
Nope.
Nope.
Karen.
Cable? Like cable or like streaming, or what do you mean?
Yeah, it was on cable TV, so not local channels, but not streaming. Since The Walking Dead. I think you like this show.
Oh, I know what it is.
I like this show.
I think I've heard you talk about it.
I have a guess, but I have no
It's a
idea.
cable. Oh my gosh, I'm interested. I have no idea. What show do I like?
You don't hate it.
I don't hate it, but I
Brent, what you got?
I'm gonna guess Yellowstone.
You got it.
Oh man,
I just started 1923. It's all right. Helen Mirren.
Harrison Ford.
Yep.
I didn't think about that as being cable. Because that's, I don't know the difference.
All right, Brent, who won the Super Bowl way back in February?
That's a Los Angeles Rams, baby. Although Tampa Bay should have gone on
No.
there.
No more Tom Brady.
Greg, who won the NBA championship?
Oh, I have no idea.
Karen?
I know who won the World Series, but I don't know the NBA. Was it the Celtics
Nope.
with
Right.
Larry Bird?
Golden State Warriors.
Got it. And
You
Karen,
were
that
on a
was my,
computer. You cheated.
If it's sports, it's the only thing that I got going. Like,
Karen, that was my next question. Who won the World Series?
Astros.
Yep. All right, Brent, what is the name of the famous telescope that brought the world stunning new views of the cosmos this year?
James Webb.
That's right.
Wow.
Cool
Yeah.
photos too. Cool
Picture
photos.
here. There's a side-by-side of the former photo of the same thing by, was it the Hubble telescope? And
Hubble,
here's
yeah.
on the right is the James Webb image of the same area. You can see.
What is that photo
object.
called? It's like the fingers of life or something like that, or
Oh, I something of the. I'd have to look it up.
yeah, or creation or something like that, or
Greg, what country, still on the space topic, launched its first space mission this year with a probe to orbit the moon?
Oklahoma.
You put some fire under that can, it'll get there. I tell you.
Hold my beer.
Is it Israel?
It is not.
Okay.
Karen, you have a guess?
I think I said mine. I have no idea.
Brent?
It's first.
First space mission, which is a probe to orbit the moon.
Is it China? Has China done one?
No, it is an Asian country. It's South Korea.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. All right.
All right.
China had to have done one. I don't know what else. I don't know.
Karen, this year saw the first Black woman to ever be on a U.S. quarter. Who is it? First Black woman ever on a U.S. quarter.
I got Underground Railroad.
Nope.
I don't know.
Brent?
I don't have a quarter.
Yeah, is it not Tubman?
Nope, it's not Tubman.
Oh.
Wow.
She's going to be on the 20.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I didn't-
All right.
Nope. Greg?
Don't know.
It's Maya Angelou.
Oh.
Really? On the quarter?
That's neat.
Does she know why the
Really?
caged eagle sings?
When have those come out? Have those been issued?
I believe so.
Oh my.
I'd like to get some of those. She's from Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Stamps.
Stamps, Arkansas.
Brent, the U.S. also saw the first Black woman sworn into the Supreme Court this year. What is her name?
Oh gosh. Jackson. Ketanji Jackson, I think, something like that.
You got it. All right, Greg. How many people have served as Prime Minister in the UK this year?
Oh gosh. Okay, that's a good question. 3.
You got it. Boris Johnson, Liz Truss, Rishi Sunak.
And then Boris back, isn't it?
All right, I've got one final question, and it's a big one because it's worth 5 points.
Ooh.
So, hold on here. Let's see. And it is a very special custom Wordle that I've made.
Oh my
for you
gosh.
three.
I
So-
can't. It's not big enough.
Once I start typing in, maybe you'll see. Can you see now?
That's a little better. Yeah.
All right, Karen, you get the first guess.
I get to make the first guess.
You get to make this.
What's the word you use to start Wordle?
Yeah.
Well, I use different, but I I want to do Frost.
Frost. Is that your go-to?
Sometimes.
All right, Brent, was that helpful at all?
No, I'm gonna do. Gosh, I start off with raise, and then I have mount, but that's not gonna get anything, is it? So I'm gonna say. Gosh, I don't know.
My two starting words are either water or blood.
Let me do chair.
Ooh,
Chair.
I do that one too sometimes. Ooh.
Got one more letter. Greg, what you got?
Ramen.
Oh, that's nice. Greg, you're quick. You're like,
Oh, good job, Greg. Oh,
Karen, you could win it all for 5 points.
it's got to be right there. Because of Karen.
Let's see.
yeah.
You get
Hey!
rigged.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Good job, Karen.
It took me a while to figure that out. Sorry, I've got a cough and I just have to keep moving away.
All right. Well, what else do we want? What else do we want to talk about before we end for the night?
Just Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah.
And
Be nice.
Please don't wear these glasses. They keep getting worse every year. Like it worked in the mid 2000s because you had the 2 zeros, but now
Oh, yeah.
it's much of a stretch
That
that
don't look right.
Yeah. I don't
you
I don't
can't
like
do it with 2.
Yeah.
It only works with 0.
Do you guys have New Year's resolutions?
Nope.
Perfect.
No.
That could be our next program podcast on our New Year's resolutions and how we did not actually accomplish any of them.
Anything.
Well, if you don't make them, then you don't have to worry about not accomplishing them.
Hey, here we go. All right, but yes, Happy New Year, everybody. Be safe and have fun and have a great 2023.
And don't make our list next year.
Yes,
Yeah.
please don't make our list next year unless it's for good things on the good library news part. But yeah, be sure check us out. Enjoy all of our exciting additions, past, present, and future. And we look forward to seeing everybody next year. So everybody have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.